Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. Geeky Sparkles is sitting this one out, which is a real shame because look at all these bunnies in this picture. We're going to talk about Coca-Cola's new Christmas ad, and despite all the backlash they got last year for doing an AI ad, they're doing it again. But this time, guys, it's better. Of course, it's better. It's been a year in AI years. That's like 25 human years or something. So we're gonna talk about the backlash, talk about the ethics of AI and commercials. And look, I've been very clear about my feelings on AI the whole time. I believe AI, as a creative myself, I believe that AI is a powerful tool. I also think it's going to be overused and abused. And a lot of people are going to get fired, and eventually they'll have to probably bring them back because at the end of the day, you still need a human operator. Basically, what AI, as it currently sits, what it allows you to do as a creative is do more, right? I don't think, having worked with AI myself and, kicking the tires on, I don't think it's there yet. It can't really create new things. It can help you make new things. It can mimic old things, but it's not good at actually making new things. That being said, it's going to be part of the digital tool set, whether you like it or not. I mean, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I think we'll probably hit a ceiling on what it's capable of doing, but it's not going anywhere. And if people, kick and scream and, hold their breath until they turn blue or whatever, all that's going to happen is these corporations, they're going to step over you and they're going to hire somebody that is okay with working with it. I saw this happen before with digital tools, Photoshop and tablets and all of that. And it's going to happen again. But, I'm not going to lie. People are going to lose their jobs to AI. A lot of creatives are going to lose their jobs to AI. You're not going to have the entry-level grunt positions like you had before. You're going to have one person doing the work of 10 or 20 using these tools. And some people would argue it might just be a shakeout, but I think right now it's definitely a fad. It's a buzzword. We're going to look into the Coca-Cola situation. There's actually a guy who's the head of AI at Coke, which is weird, right? That is your job, but they don't care. I mean, the truth is, they don't care what the creatives think, because at the end of the day, and this is what we have said the entire time, it only matters what the consumers think. And if consumers look at this video and they think that's a cute video, it's a cute commercial, and they continue to buy Coke, there's not going to be any outrage over it. Actually, most of the outrage over AI is a tempest in a teapot. It seems quarantined to the internet because it doesn't really affect normies. They're just like, oh, my computer does more now. That's what they're thinking, right? I mean, I have concerns about it. It's neither here nor there. It's here. So you're going to have to learn to deal with it or not. I mean, that's the truth. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, Geeky Sparkles has designed some new pins. If you go out to Kickstarter, she's got some vintage pins. I did this one, though. I did the Santa in the little space age UFO looking thing, because I've been looking into it, and there was a whole thing. This is before my time. There was a whole thing about space age Santa, and he had rocket ships and rocket sleds and all that, and I was very excited. But we're doing these ornaments as well. You can also pick up the Clownfish TV pin if you haven't done so already, and I guess I need to change that. We're over 5,000, so there are going to be stickers for everybody. That's what we did last time. If you guys back the Halloween set, which turned out really freaking awesome, by the way. Very, very cool stuff. And they glow in the dark. These are going to be glitter. So check it out on Kickstarter. Link in the description. Let's talk about this. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Now, I will admit, I watched both of the Coke ads. I watched the Coke ad last year, and I watched this year's Coke ad. And there is a marked improvement. I'm going to be honest. There really is. If you didn't tell me it was AI, I think I would have thought it was just CGI. I mean, the Santa, anytime they shows, they show some humans, it's kind of like, okay, it's a little weird. But the furry critters, they look pretty good. If I'm being honest, they look pretty good. And, there's a movie coming out from OpenAI. I think it's called Critters. And they're going to be doing CGI or AI woodland monsters or whatever. And if this is an indication of where it's at now, by the time that movie comes out, it's going to be really good. And this is why there's so many animators just absolutely terrified for their jobs. And we'll talk about it because actually Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, is very concerned about the state of animation right now. People said we're lying. We're not lying. We'll go out and look at that too. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Coca-Cola is trying another AI holiday ad. Executives say this time is different. So it said after major backlash in 2024, Coke and the LA studio it hired have produced a new synthetic spot. Why are we calling it a synthetic spot when if it was done with CGI is also synthetic? That's a weird, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a weird thing to say, but whatever. A new synthetic spot they believe viewers will like more. The craftsmanship is 10 times better. Will they? For a few weeks last November, no villain loomed larger over Madison Avenue and the social media that polices it than Coca-Cola. The company's The Holidays Are Coming spot, in homage to a classic 1995 ad, featured the original's rhythmic anthem as trucks drove through various snowy landscapes. Only the ad was now filled with AI-generated objects, animals, and people, a fact that did not go over well with creatives and many others on the internet. Now, I think I can show you some of it. Well, this is the new one, actually. I'm not going to play the music, but hey, it's AI. Am I going to get struck for this because it's AI? Technically, you can't copyright AI. I think maybe the Coke logo. That's why I'm not going to play music. But you can see. I mean, this is just a day ago. And I mean, look, there's some tells. If you know what you're looking for, it's it is definitely better than last year's. It's significantly better than last year's. And the average consumer doesn't care how it got made. The average consumer doesn't know how most of this stuff gets made. And they're going to run this thing. I mean, they're going to run it all season. It's cute. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's cute. We got the Santa. We got puppies. I mean, people love puppies. Yeah, they're not going to care. Last year, what was such a big tell for me was the sizes didn't seem correct. The proportions didn't seem correct. Like the trucks were way bigger than they should be in relation to like the streets. The humans looked really weird. And that was the same with the Toys R Us ad too. It was very, very weird. Stuff just looked very off. But I mean, if you're a casual and this is just running on the TV in the background, you're not going to know how it was made. You're not going to know that it's AI. I want to show this one too. This is last year. Somebody did a reaction to the Coke ad using AI to make fun of the AI Coke ad. And it was freaking hysterical. Like you think it's the same thing, but like you watch it, it's just like shit's blowing up. People are getting hit. I thought this was fantastic. But yeah, the humans, I'm glad they didn't put the humans in because that usually is the biggest tell is that the humans are, yeah, Santa just burst into flames. So it's like, so I was watching this yesterday. I hadn't seen it before. I thought it was hilarious. I just was like laughing at this thing. Honestly, I would have just run with that one. I would have just been like, you know what? This is our ad. This is our ad this year. It's like Scrooged, right? The commercial they had that gave a woman a heart attack for a Christmas Carol. That's what this is. I would have gone with that one. But yeah. Don't want to run the whole ad. I don't want to steal the AI slot, but it looks significantly better. I'm telling you, all the studios right now, everybody I've talked to, they're all scrambling, trying to integrate this technology. Again, integrate it into their workflow, but that does mean a lot fewer people are going to be needed because this was probably rendered from like an AI photo, or they might have had a source photo of a sloth. And then, here, put these trucks in the background and whatever. And eventually it's going to get to a place where you can do like one continuous shot for, an hour, 2 hours or whatever. We're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, so that's that. They said, yeah, it didn't go over well. Coca-Cola is red because it's made from the blood of out-of-work artists, decried Hollywood writer Alex Hirsch. This was last year. I think it was last year, and he's at it again this year. Yeah. And one of many such negative comments, noting both the spot's labor ethics and aesthetics, despite or because of the backlash, the ad racked up billions of impressions. That's all they look at. I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, that's all they look at is like, how many people actually watch this? Okay, how are our Coke sales? Okay, they're good. Like, people are buying Coke. Okay, cool. Well, the weird thing is just real quick, speaking of backlash, this was pinned onto the parody. This Colin Neckrit says, as the former art director who worked at Coca-Cola in the 90s for the original animated bear commercial, I approve of this message. Yeah, they're not calling him anymore. That's, on Monday, Coke is trying again, releasing a new generative AI holiday ad with the globe trucking concept. Once more, the company has hired the LA-based AI studio Secret Level to produce the spot. Is that the same secret? Is that Secret Level like the Amazon? Was that all AI? I don't know. Because they had I thought they had an Amazon series of short stories based on video games or something. It's very weird. Like Mega Man looked like a real boy. It was very weird looking stuff. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. This time though, the ad features just animals. The only person seen is Santa Claus, based on the company's original drawings. Okay, yeah, Coca-Cola. For those of you who don't know, actually Santa, as we know him, came from Coca-Cola ads. But the way he was painted back in the day, it's kind of horrifying. He doesn't have teeth. He doesn't have any teeth. It's kind of weird. The company believes enough has changed in a year in both the tech and society to evoke a different response. Last year, people criticized the craftsmanship, but this year, the craftsmanship is 10 times better. I agree with him. I'm looking at that ad and I'm like, if you wouldn't have told me it was AI, I might have just assumed they used CGI. I mean, you have to you start to look at little things here and there. You freeze frame it. That's what people do. When they go on these witch hunts, they start freeze framing stuff. And they're like, look, there's only 3.5 fingers. This Star Trek is AI because Scotty's only got 3 fingers on one hand. That's the whole thing. Google it. Anyway, yeah. So this is Pratik Thakar, Global VP and head of generative AI. So this is the thing, global VP and head of generative AI at Coca-Cola. So they're hiring people just to run AI now at these companies. So we went from having diversity and inclusion czars to having AI czars. Isn't that weird? Like within the course of like 2 years, there will be people who criticize we cannot keep everyone happy 100%. But the majority of consumers see it in a positive way. It's worth going forward. That's the thing. I hate to be that guy, but at the end of the day, it's not up to the artists. It's not up to the displaced people, whether or not AI takes off. It's going to be the general public. Do they care how the sausage was made? No, they do not. They care how it tastes. It's just like they really didn't care that much back in the 90s with Toy Story. They're like, well, Toy Story was a novelty when it came out because it was CGI. And then within 5-6 years, all the movies were CGI, including the mainline Disney movies, and a bunch of 2D animators were put out of work, which really sucks. I mean, it does, because we lost a lot of institutional knowledge. And they had to bring those guys back when they did the Mary Poppins sequel, the ill-conceived Mary Poppins sequel. They brought them back because nobody at Disney knew how to draw 2D anymore. I mean, isn't that sad? At Disney, at the Walt Disney Company, nobody knew how to do 2D animation anymore. That's where we were at. In a culture where Hollywood creators worry about an AI takeover while a video watching citizenry braces itself for a wave of synthetic media from Sora2 and others, an AI commercial at this level is no small thing. Coca-Cola is one of the world's most dominant brands, and the holidays are one of Madison Avenue's sacred human spaces. The unleashing of a spot by the former into the space of the latter could prove a litmus test for consumers' appetite for AI video while also further normalizing its consumption. Yeah, it's a Sunblum Santa, which is true. I said the current generation of AI video can often take on a disconcertingly stylized quality. Coca-Cola sought to learn or to lean into that bug by choosing to portray not people, but animals, which they say they couldn't do before. Last year, it was difficult to get those expressions from animals, so we had to use human faces. Now technology has evolved to where we can. And that's wild, because we're talking a year. Like, what a difference a year makes. And if you go back, because I got recommended a video by Gunship. Gunship, I love Gunship, by the way. They did an AI video like 3 or 4 years ago, and they got massive backlash for that, but racked up like 4 or 5 million views. But I was looking for the parody, the AI parody, and that came up recommended. And I'm like, yeah, it is amazing how far it's come in a very, very short time. So 5 years from now, it's going to be normal. I mean, again, I don't really care how you feel about it. I'm not going to make fun of you if you hate it. I'm just telling you how it's going to be. How it's going to be is this is going to be normal. It's going to be worked into pretty much all facets of entertainment. Now, I'm hoping to God it's not like Elon Musk thinks, where he thinks AI is basically going to just replace everything, and even our devices are just going to be AI interfaces. But who knows? I mean, who knows? He said the desired effect of that Madagascar or other modern CG anime movie is what they're going for. Those films used artists working from scratch instead of the approach here, which used a model trained on thousands of earlier images generated with humans prompting and shaping the animation in question. So this is Jason Zada, Secret Level's founder and chief creative officer, says he hopes viewers cannot distinguish this spot from a traditional Hollywood animated movie. Yeah. And I think he's right. You know, now for me as a creative, I think it's exciting that you're going to be able to make movies, you know, particularly animated movies, for a fraction of the cost. And that is a problem for a lot of people because they're going to be put out of work. I get that. I understand that. And it sucks. It does suck. But, you know, being an old dog, I've been through so many transitions over the years, and you know how media is produced and consumed, that for me it's like it literally is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, by the way. Oh, hey, I think it's pizza day. So there we go. I'm excited about that. Are we getting Coca-Cola? Do I think there's going to be any outrage or boycotts? No. However, if those rabbits are trans, that's going to cause a problem for people. Yeah. So The Verge says the only improvement to my eyes is the wheels on the Coke trucks are actually consistently turning this year rather than gliding. No, I think it looks pretty good. Look, they don't want to admit it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And 2 years from now, 5 years from now, it's going to be really good. Coke declined to comment on the cost of the new holiday campaign, according to the Wall Street Journal, but said that around 100 people were involved on it. Yeah, you still need people. A figure comparable to the company's older AI-free productions. That includes 5 AI specialists from Silverside who contributed by prompting and refining more than 70,000 AI video clips. Again, it's a time saver, but not a replacement for humans. You still need humans to oversee it. So they're talking about the blunders in the past, but they said that it's worth the risk. The marketing officer told the Wall Street Journal that its latest holiday campaign was cheaper and speedier to produce compared to traditional production. Before, we were doing the shooting and all the standard processes for a project, we would start a year in advance. Now you can get it done in a month. Okay, I want to. Wow. Okay, that's what's going to decide everything. Before, when we were shooting and doing all the standard processes for a project, for a commercial, we would start a year in advance. So we're talking the old 90s Coca-Cola bear commercials, or the, would you like to teach the world to sing, all that stuff. We got to start like a year out, and that's true. Now you can get it done in a month. I wasn't kidding. We did a video on AI the other day, and we talked about Tron Ares being a huge failure for Disney, right? And if only they knew, because the ticket sales were not good. The pre-sales were not good. What is going to happen in the future? And I could see this being a part of it, just the amount of time it takes to make things, is you might actually have movies get the Kickstarter treatment, but at the theater. Like, we will release this movie theatrically if we get X number of ticket pre-sales, because it's only going to take us 2 or 3 months to put it together versus 2 or 3 years to put it together. Would you like to see a sequel for this movie? Okay, we'll put ticket pre-sales up. And if you want to see a sequel, if you actually want to see another Tron movie with maybe Tron in it this time, we'll do pre-sales. And if you buy X number of tickets, then we'll make the movie, because it's only going to take us a couple of months. Or we already started, we'll finish it. And if not enough people want it, then we'll either scrap it or we'll kick it over to streaming. You know, I mean, that's where we're at. And same with animation, especially. I mean, it takes years. People are like, why do we still have all this quote unquote woke stuff on Netflix in like 2023, 2024? I'm like, because it was probably greenlit in 2018 because it takes that long to make this stuff. So let's look at the comments here. Let's see. I liked it. But why? I guess the only answer can be that they see an endpoint where the AI version would require one person in a subscription to Chat GPT. No, this is above and beyond Chat GPT. This is the good stuff. And that's what concerns me too, is I keep thinking it's going to be an equalizer. I don't think it's going to be, though. I think the studios are going to have the good stuff. We're going to get the slot machine, but the studios are going to have the multi-million-dollar, whatever, supercomputers that can do this stuff. Coke declined to comment. So what's the sales pitch here? That we can do it. Sounds like they're trying to prevent criticism of AI replacing jobs. That being said, 70,000 clips across 5 specialists comes out to 14,000 clips to review per specialist. It's far too many samples for each specialist to review. So how many of those 100 jobs were really just temporary low-paid data people separating the signal from the noise? I don't know. Didn't like her hair, but it's meh. Looked like a poorly animated Thomas Kincaid painting. Why don't they do what Hershey's does and show the same ad every year to the point that it's nostalgic? I don't need AI polar bears or rabbits. They want to see what they can do. And they're honestly, I'll tell you what's probably going on. The studio probably cut them a hell of a deal, because what an opportunity to get your name out there, than to work on a Coke ad. Like, we'll give it to you for free. We'll give it to you for like such a reduced cost. You'd be crazy not to do it. What do you say? That's what I think is probably going on. I think they're like, oh, we can save a shit ton of money on marketing because the studio wants to get its name out there and show what they can do. And they want to practice on Coca-Cola so everybody knows who they are. And they're going to like give it to us at a reduced cost. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we get to be the guinea pigs. Cool, we're Coca-Cola. People are still going to buy our shit regardless of what we do. That's what I think's going on. That's what I think's going on here. But yeah, so I mean, look, people are not going to be happy about it. I get it. Yeah, I do, but it's unavoidable, right? That's all I'm saying. It's better crafted slop, and it's going to get to a place where people are going to stop calling it slop because it's going to look the same. It's going to look the same as something that was completely human produced. And there probably will be a human driving the bus, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're always going to need that human component, I believe, but who knows? I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.